Hey Professor Project Team, the video covering January 15th to January 22nd. Not really going to be covering the programming in this video. Part of it is because I don't quite remember everything I wrote. Had it finished, so it was all wrapped up and posted, ready to go for all of you before I left to Miami for Wodapalooza. As you may or may not know, spoilers, I went to Wodapalooza, finished second. Really proud overall of the competition. Felt like I've improved a lot from last year. That's the biggest thing. I was talking to my coach, and last year there were two events in particular that I didn't do as well in as I thought I should have, or could have, knowing what I know about myself. One of those was the swim. Last year it was a swim, heavy wall balls and double unders, and I came third and was very far behind Ricky and Roman. They came 1-2 and they beat me by like 2 minutes. And I thought, that should be a workout where I should be hanging with those guys. I should be right there with them. And so this year there was a swim, bike, double under run, and was able to beat both of them. James beat me, but I felt, I was like, if it was the same workout as last year, I think I would have been hanging with Ricky and Roman, which are two guys that I need to be hanging with if I want to be the best in the world, especially in that type of event. And kind of the same thing last year. There's an event that was there's rope climbs, GHDs, some like lunges and kettlebell swings. You run, and then you kind of went back. You did some kettlebell thrusters, some lunges, some GHD sit-ups, and some rope climbs. And I had a decent finish in that last year. I think it was like 15th or 10th or something like that. Ricky and Roman were 1-2. Pat was 3rd or 4th. And, finished that one last year and thought, that's got to be a good event for me. I'm good at those movements. It's a longer workout. I need to dial that in. My fitness needs to be there for that. And so, yes, focus on my weaknesses, right? Got to get the deadlift up. Got to get the front squat up. Got to get the handstand push-ups better. Got to get better at cycling muscle-ups, cycling chest bars. I'm still working on those things. You guys all know that. But everyone has a different playbook to succeeding in this sport. Everyone's going to have a different way of, in my case, it's like I'm trying to get on the podium and win every big event I can. Some athletes, it's let's get to semifinals. For some athletes, it's, hey, let's qualify for quarterfinals, or let's try and win my local competition, or do my first RX comp, or, some athletes, it's let's make it to the games for the first time, or I've made the games, I want to come top 10 at the games. And everyone has a different formula for that. Someone who did great this weekend, I thought was James Sprague. I gotta ask him how to pronounce that. I feel like every time I say it differently. He had a great weekend, right? He finished in, I want to say 6th. Really maximize what he has right now, and he's only going to get better. But it's like, hey, he pushed it for a 265-pound snatch, which was a solid lift for him. Scraped some points there. Crushed the swim event. Beat me in a workout with like burpees and front squats and deadlifts, really push the pace there. So he's using his fitness to really find a way to excel in CrossFit workouts. And then his strength is getting better. He's never going to win a strength event, right? Probably. But it can get better, but he still needs to make sure when there's stuff that he's good at, he's ready to rumble. It's easy to say all those things, right? It's easy to say those things. Oh, I want my weaknesses to get better and I want my strengths to stay my strengths. Is another thing to, accurately program those and make that happen. And I think in the past, may have focused a little too much on my weaknesses and tried to build them up. And some of the things I took for granted started to slip away. Overall, really happy with the weekend. Stoked that I got to meet a lot of Professor Project members. I was even in the airport here, bumped into someone, and he's been doing the programming now, he said, for 2 or 3 years. And he was coming from Miami, but he was there for a different reason. He didn't get to watch the competition. I assumed he was there. This thought was cool. And yeah, some Professor Project members are competing. Honestly, I don't remember all of them. It's been a hectic weekend. I probably shook hands with about 700 people. But a lot of fun, getting to meet people and, trying to ask them, how do they like it and what can we do better, and which is good. And I'm excited to, keep building on what we have here and, just continue to provide you week by week with, solid training, and feel like it's working. Like I said, last year I finished 4th at some of the biggest competitions, broke the Games Wodapalooza, started this year with a 2nd, which is nice, got on the podium, kind of broke the little 4th place curse there, which is nice. Same with Gabby McGallis, she had a little 4th place curse going too, and she finished 2nd, so nice to break that. One more spot to climb. I'm trying to think of some other little thoughts or some anecdotes. Let me think, gosh. It's funny, often the highlight reel stuff is not the stuff that I leave that I'm really excited about. Even I just watched the live stream of the front squat workout, and although I think I finished 10th in that event. There's a previous version of Brent where that would have just crushed me. That would have been a 20th or a 25th or a 30th place finish. And so to get a 10th there, it's those sorts of points you really need to lock up a high finish. So I was really proud of how my front squats held together. I had to do some deadlifts and dips, and then had to do sets of front squats at 185 that were 15-10-5 with some bar facing burpees. So like really out of breath, right? Just legs are smoked from the deadlifts, breathing's high, and then pick up. For me, that's kind of heavy, like it's heavy-ish, moderate-ish. And because I'm a bit taller, those front squats can sometimes just crush me, just really pin me forward. But as you guys know, we've been doing a ton of those pause front squats and just a ton of front squats in general, and a lot of upper back work. And I feel like the upper back work, the hamstring accessories, and then just doing more front squats, quality front squats, really help those to kind of pump them out really quickly in the workout and not be totally smashed by it. So, little things like that I was happy with. And then obviously the last two events of the weekend were a lot of fun. I was able to, get a 2-1 to finish the weekend. So second place in the swim. That was a lot of fun. It was a whirlwind. Would have liked to finish first, but man, James had my number. He was a man on fire in that workout. And then in the last one, for anybody who watched it live or anybody who was there, thanks for cheering me on. It was pretty cool. That workout was really frantic. It was good. I was right next to Ricky. He had kind of a pretty hot pace after that first round, and he was, quite a bit ahead, good like kind of rope climb and a half, probably like 15-20 seconds ahead. And to be honest, I wasn't really thinking I was going to catch him. I was just trying to keep pushing the pace, and try not to be afraid to kick up in the handstand in that last round. That was like kind of the goal. We've been doing the Professor Project a lot of handstands, right? We've been doing a lot of those static handstand holds especially, and some handstand skill stuff, but a lot of those static handstand holds, and I felt like it really paid off. Shoulder endurance, even though my triceps were screaming a bit, grip was screaming a bit from the toes to bar and the rope climbs, had that confidence that I'm like, hey, I'm used to living in this burn and I can just keep walking. I'm not going to fall over. Let's pick up the pace. Let's, finish 30 feet, take one breath, kick up again. Don't wait 10-20 seconds to kick up. And I was lucky that I finished that last handstand walk. And I told myself before, I'm like, as soon as you finish, you're going to jog to those kettlebells, you're going to pick them up. That's where a lot of people take a break. And as I was jogging back, I saw Ricky was still waiting. He still kind of had his hands on his knees. And cool, baby, let's go. So that was sometimes you try not to pay too much attention to my competitors and stay in my lane. But when you see something like that, it can kind of like give you a burst of momentum, just like in a workout at a competition within the last year, ran by my coach and he'd give me some cue like, oh man, you're right on his heels, like, he looks tired, you look fresh, like go get him, like that kind of stuff can really help, that external stuff. And so it was really cool to end on a win. Everyone I bumped into Saturday, Sunday was saying, oh man, that win at the end of Friday was epic, like that was so sick. And so that was cool. It's cool to end on a win. It's very rare you get to, it's hard to win workouts at these competitions. I've had great events where I haven't won any workouts because everyone here is so good. And so it was cool to end on a win. Ricky was, a really deserving first place overall for sure. He had a super consistent, super solid weekend. That guy's a beast. And but I was happy that to end on a win was pretty cool. And to just, squeeze past Sam on the leaderboard. Nothing personal. It's happened to me a few times. But it was cool. Ending on the lunges, celebrating a bit there. That was a lot of fun. Nice way to end the weekend. It's funny, I was saying to my coach, like, you're a lot less tired when you win the workout. When you win the workout, you celebrate. You don't feel too tired. You come second or third or 10th and you're dying. Something about that win lights a fire in you and reinvigorates you. But yeah, I'm heading home and grateful for all the support. This week will be, a little bit slower training for me. And then I'm really excited to kind of dig in and build for semis. Obviously the opening quarters are coming up, which I'm going to do. I'm going to do my best, but really trying to think ahead to the semis and to the games on all the little things I learned this weekend, things I learned at Rogue, things I learned at the games, and try to figure out how I can bring the best possible Brent to those competitions, mentally, physically, spiritually. So anyway, thanks everyone for the support. Thanks for tuning into my little airport recap, and we will see you all on the web soon. Thanks for Professor Project team for hanging in there and all the support. Looking forward to the next few weeks and few months. A couple new fresh ideas to solve some old problems. And I'm excited to, just continue to progress and try to challenge you all like I'm trying to challenge myself. Let's get it.